What is up, YouTubers? Again, this is Mr. Marvel back here in another video. Sorry, I checked something, forgot to do something before. I'm gonna talk about movie topics, wrestling, and sports stuff, I guess. Whatever, random stuff, I guess. Random topics, basically. So, I just got done watching SmackDown Live. Yes, I know, it was this past Tuesday. I had it recorded, so it was working. So I watched it, and it was Flair, excuse me, it was Charlotte Flair versus Carmella, and if Charlotte won that match, she'd be triple threat match at SummerSlam against Becky Lynch, Carmella, and it would be Charlotte Flair added to the match if she won. So I watched the match, blah blah blah, all that stuff. Charlotte wins, triple threat match. Becky Lynch doesn't seem happy. So between Carmella, Lynch, and Charlotte, it's like a triple threat match basically for it's like a decade match. I mean, I know Becky Lynch wanted a solo match with Charlotte with the champion Carmella on a one-on-one match for the championship. But again, you give somebody an opportunity, you take it, and you win the match. So that's a triple threat. If you get set better, you get set better. But it's whatever. Uh, Not much with sports. I mean, football's coming back pretty soon. Kick off that season. It's pretty cool. So I'm happy with that as well, as everyone else is. I'm good with that. Not much with movies. Like I just talked about it last week. Saw the rest of the new Venom trailer. That was pretty good. And like I said, I talked about all that with Spider-Man and all that. I mean, look, I already mentioned. I know I've said it a few times, once or twice, but again, I think it'd be pretty interesting to have him as a villain in the next Spider-Man Homecoming movie or Spider-Man. Since 8 maybe. I mean, I know Venom's like a friend with Spider-Man when he joins the Avengers or whatever, or the club, or Ancient Venom or something like that. All that crazy nonsense. I mean, there's a lot to it, but I mean, we'll get into that eventually. But I mean, that's pretty much what I would like to see. I mean, there's a lot of other things I will talk about. I've talked about the Avengers and all that stuff, and that's coming up eventually next year, and you know, behind the scenes, and pictures of them going back in time and all that stuff, blah blah blah. All that interesting stuff as well. You know, which is cool as well. Not much in DC though. Like I already talked about DC. There's not much really else to say about it. I mean, like as long as they introduce the characters, like the characters like this, like I said, in the next Justice League, then they'd be fine. I mean, they haven't done that. I mean, they showed one or two. They showed one or two characters in the beginning of the movie. They talked about the villain and everything, and him destroying. They showed like a guy with a Green Lantern ring. So that's something possibility next in the next film. In 2020. Then they got the Cyborg movie, so that's something as well. I mean, you want to start introducing characters now and get that rolling. I don't think they don't even have a John Jones. They don't even have a Green Arrow. They don't even have a Green Lantern yet. They don't even have like the Atom. They don't even have They don't have a lot of other good characters yet because they haven't got into it yet. I mean, they're still working on that. I mean, hope they'll get into it. Within time. And like I said, the movies coming up is you got Aquaman, you got Shazam, and all that cool stuff. That's pretty cool as well. I'm just curious now what else characters gonna put into it. You got all these amazing characters coming up in this film. I'm just curious to see what's gonna happen and what characters are gonna be introduced. And anybody gonna be Aquaman, anybody gonna be Shazam, gonna be any characters in those. I mean, you see a couple of news clippings and the the thing that Bruce Wayne tells his Batarang thing. That's all. That is also that in Shazam's little souvenir thing. So maybe introduce them eventually, and all that. And I was looking online and talk about doing the Joker solo movie and get some characters for that and all that, which is good. I mean, I would assume they would probably use Jared Leto for that, but I think they might go a different direction with that, with another Joker and another solo Joker movie. I mean, I would assume they use Jared Leto for the Suicide Squad 2 movie, put him in that as the Joker, but they switch the Joker up. It's like it's weird, but it's like, what the fuck? Keeping the same character for the same movie makes sense. Why the hell would you switch it up now, and then try to pull, set off, oh, this is the new Joker. Will he be in the Justice League? Any part of the Justice League at all, or any part of that? Why confuse fans now? I put him in there now. I mean, hell, if Heath Ledger was his life, rest in peace. So he'd dominate the fucking Suicide Squad movie, the solo Joker movie, the solo Batman movie, he would dominate that in a freaking heartbeat. It'd be the best film ever. I mean, the best film if he was still alive. I would agree with that 100% I mean, you could use him. You could have used freaking anybody for that movie. What? And you could use anybody for that film, and I wouldn't be mad about it at all. I mean, I would be very happy with it, but still, I mean, it would make sense to put in Heath Ledger if he was still around for him for that part of the movie. But yeah, I know they want to change it up and make it better, but I don't know. It's weird to me. I did do that. They even want to do a Harley Quinn movie. I mean, that could be a successful movie as well. I mean, next I did my doubts about that. I my doubts about the Joker solo movie. I mean, that doesn't make much sense, but I mean, it's whatever. But they can do what they want with it. I mean, because they're already working on Wonder Woman 2 and all that stuff, and some other things as well. Marvel's doing their thing now, and getting ready for that. I mean, gotta forget the Marvel to come out and all that, and get that going. Should be a pretty good movie. Look into that as well. I always figured they bring Captain Marvel eventually. It's been the cartoons and even all that stuff, even the group they come up with, and all the ones disappear, and bringing the stretchy girl. They're actually they're actually using that girl that stretches from the Avengers cartoon. They're gonna make a movie with that one, so that should be really good. It's be interesting to see that. As well, like I said, Marvel's doing all these characters now, doing all these cool things. They got it down pat. They're doing really well with it. I mean, like I said, I mentioned DC a few times. I already mentioned DC and all their things they got to do and all the little issues, but I mean, come on. I mean, Marvel's been beating them at the game for such a period of time now, and they've done so many other movies with other actors, and they made like 3 Batman movies. Christian Bale. They've done Batman Robin back then. They've done all these films, and now they haven't really put out much lately. Besides, last year Justice League, and last year was Wonder Woman. Then Batman, Man of Steel. They put out like maybe 3 or 4 movies at least. Batman, Man of Steel. Then Batman vs Superman, so that's 2. And they get Justice League, was 3. So they put at least 4 movies at least now. This would be 5, would be 6, and then it'd be 7. But I mean, Justice League is trying. I mean, the DC universe and everything. They're trying to get everything together, so that's good. That's why I have credit for that. So, I'm locked in on gonna try to mess that up, but they won't. I have actually faith in it, so I'm not gonna say, hey, it's gonna be a really, excuse me, really messed up film, but I mean, they're trying. I'm not saying they're gonna not succeed, but still, it's like you put out 4 movies, and then what? You stop? I mean, yeah, you put out Suicide Squad the first thing, after Batman, Superman, and all that stuff, and then so at least 5. Sorry, I forgot Suicide Squad. So at least 5. I mean, they've done pretty well over the years, and they've done well. I mean, Marvel's kicked their ass in most of it already. They've almost put a lot of films, so it's a lot of put up with Captain America movies, Man, Thor. I mean, they've done all that stuff. I mean, they've really gotten to the point where they've got that on pat as well with DC. But I mean, it's interesting. They even saw on Facebook about a Marvel and DC movie. I mean, it would be very interesting to see how that would turn out and how that would be into play specifically. But I don't know how the hell that storyline even worked out. I don't know how the hell that make any sense. I really don't know. I'm curious to see it. I mean, they got to work. Marvel's got to do the other movies they got to work on as well. But I mean, this one, that's a very interesting topic right there. That's doing that would be very interesting for the movie super universe. I mean, it's interesting. I forgot to mention they're doing a Flashpoint. I mean, I forgot to mention that, but that should be pretty cool as well. Look into that. So very cool. So I'm gonna end this video now. Like and subscribe. So again, this is Mr. Marvel. Peace out. Till next time. Peace.